So today we are going to discuss about the respiratory tract. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Is screen visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the respiratory tract of human being. So let's discuss little basics part of it. So see, our respiratory tract starts from the nose here. Okay, in nose we have the nasal cavity, and that nasal cavity is over here, and here the passage of the air from nose to the nasal cavity is called as nostril. Okay, so I'm going to draw over here. Wait a second. Okay, so here this is the nose. This is the nose. Okay, and here we have the nostril. Here we have nostril. Let me draw one more diagram over here so that you can understand properly. Okay, this is the nose, and here we have two nostrils. Okay, and here one like cartilaginous muscle is present. That cartilaginous muscle separates both of the nostrils. Okay, so that cartilaginous muscle is called as septum. It's called as septum. Okay, it is made up of the cartilaginous muscle. Okay, so that due to the septum we have two nostril now. We have one called right one and another one is called left nostril. Okay, so here we have this is nostril, and after nostril here we have the nasal cavity. Here we have the nasal cavity. Okay, so air when passes from atmosphere to our nose, it reaches to nasal cavity first. And before reaching the nasal cavity, in nostril, we have hair-like projection. We have the hair-like projection. That hair-like projection which present on nostril helps to remove like large particle of dust or maybe sand or like ash particles if they present suspended in air that will be filtered by the hair-like structure. And that hair-like structure also helps to make the air moist. Okay, this hair-like structure present on the nostril, they also helps to make the air moist. Understood, beta? And then air reaches from nasal cavity to pharynx region. So this is the pharynx region. Okay, from here to here we have pharynx region. In pharynx region here, like mucous membrane is present. In mucous membrane, mucous glands are present. Mucous glands are present. That mucous gland secretes the mucus, and here in mucous gland, whatever the dust particle, we are fine dust particle like we have some viruses, bacteria, pathogens, they got trapped in the mucous membrane. Okay, and sometime like we are used to remove that mucus material along with bacteria, virus, or dust particle through the sneezing process or by coughing. When we used to sneeze or when we used to cough, that along with mucus, some part of like bacteria, viruses, we are removing out from our body. That is the part of self-defense mechanism. That is the part of self-defense mechanism. Okay.
So
Now,
your voice is lagging.
voice is lacking. Probably there is a network problem from your side also. Everyone, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
We are clearly audible.
Okay. So probably you are having network problem, madam. Nowadays like during the evening time most of the people they use internet, so that's why we are getting like unstable network. Okay, that's why this problem arises sometimes. Okay, so where were we? So nostril region, after nostril nasal cavity is present. Here in nasal cavity we have sinus part over here. In sinus, like warm air, like warm area is present, so that air becomes warm. Okay, the air that we used to breathe, they have to become moist as well as warm, so that it is going to absorb in our lungs properly. Okay, so in order to absorb oxygen from the air properly, that air have to become moist as well as warm. Okay, and then air passes from nasal cavity to pharynx. So in pharynx region, see, this is the region where food as well as air both passes commonly. I think we had question on your test also. Which region of the respiratory system is common for the passage of food as well as air? So that is the pharynx region. Okay, understood? In pharynx region, food as well as air, it is passes together or from the same path. Okay, understood, beta? Do reply. Do reply. Okay. Okay. Then here we have the pharynx region. See, this is the pharynx region, and pharynx region we have one bone which is called as voice box, or it is also called as vocal cord. Vocal cord. See, vocal cord is very responsible, very important and responsible for the producing sound. Whatever I am speaking, you used to speak, okay, because of the vocal cord only. So when pituitary stage, like vocal cord in case of male, or we can say boy, or in case of female, or we can say girl. Okay, so vocal cord during the pituitary stage. So I'm writing here during pituitary stage, vocal cord grow much in case of male or boys. Okay, that's why its size is increases. Hence, it become large. Okay, that's why it is called as Adam's apple. Hence, so called Adam's apple. So called Adam's apple. The boys you can see over here. Here, just put your hand like this, and you can feel like vibration over here. This is the larynx. This is the vocal cord by which we can produce the sound. Okay. So in case of male or boys, this larynx grows much as in their pituitary stage. That's why in case of male only we used to say Adam's apple, not in case of girls. You have to remember, it is very important. Okay, this larynx is called as Adam's apple in case of male only, not in case of female. Because in case of female, like in pituitary stage, it is not growing much as like in boys. That's why in boys only its size is increases. That's why we used to say it is Adam's apple in case of male only. Understood, beta? Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So let me side the screen so that you will see. Okay. So now in case of female. So in case of female, like during pituitary stage, what is pituitary stage? What is pituitary stage? Anyone, any idea? During pituitary stage, in case of female, or we can say girl, in case of female or girl, like pharynx or the voice box, I'm writing, sorry, larynx. Larynx does not grow much as voice as male do. Male, okay. Hence, women or the females have, female or girl have soft voice. Soft voice. Is it like girls have soft voice, but males or the boys do have the like the little cracker voice, or we can say the hard voice. Is it? Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I want you all to take a screenshot for that. Then we are going to move further. Take a screenshot, beta. Done. Okay. So what next? After larynx region, air passes through the windpipe, and this windpipe is called as trachea. This windpipe is called as trachea, and the trachea is part of the lower respiratory tract, and this part is called as upper respiratory tract. Okay. So in short, we used to say URT. URT, it is upper respiratory tract, and here we have LRT. LRT, it is lower respiratory tract. So we have two like respiratory tract, URT and LRT. Okay, like we used to say when COVID virus is infecting the people, it start infection in URT. So it is called as upper respiratory tract infection. So now we used to say URTI, and after 5 to 6 days, it start infecting in lower respiratory tract. So then it is called as lower respiratory tract infection. Okay, so understood what is URT and LRT? So URT include nose, then we have nasal cavity, then we have like nostril, then nasal cavity and pharynx, larynx also. And then lower respiratory tract includes trachea, then we have bronchi, then left and right bronchi, then bronchioles, then ultimately lungs. Okay. Okay. So when the air reaches from larynx to trachea, then trachea is nothing but the bronchi. It is bronchi. It have another name called bronchi. I am changing the ink. Okay. And this bronchi break down into two parts. One reaches to the left lungs and another reaches to right lungs. That's why it is called as left bronchi and right bronchi. Okay. And these bronchi again break down into the small pieces like branches you can see over here. Okay, these are called as bronchioles. They are called as bronchioles. Okay, and then these bronchioles opens into the balloon-like structure called alveoli. Okay, so I'm writing here alveoli. Okay, so now in alveoli, inside the wall of alveoli, we have numerous network of the blood capillaries. Numerous means a very minute blood capillaries network is present here. And these blood capillaries are called as pulmonary blood capillaries. Pulmonary blood capillaries. These blood capillaries contain blood along with carbon dioxide gas. That's why it is called as deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. And when we breathe in the air, when we are breathing in the air, which is becomes moist and warm and ultimately reaches to the alveolar sac. So here we have the pouch-like structure which is called as alveolar sac. Alveolar sac. Okay, alveolar sac is nothing but the empty space inside the alveolar. Okay, so here oxygen is present in alveolar sac. Okay, so now here we can see blood contain less amount of oxygen but more amount of carbon dioxide. Less oxygen and more carbon dioxide. Where in case of blood, but in alveolar sac we have high amount of O2 and low amount of carbon dioxide, because we have in our surrounding like 78% we have nitrogen, 21% we have oxygen, 0.02 to 0.03, or sometimes it is 0.04% of carbon dioxide. Then we have dust particles, then we have viruses, we have bacteria, we have sand particles, we have spores of the fungus. Okay, we have ash particles. Okay, so these are like we can say unburned carbon particles of the fuel like coal, we have petrol, we have diesel. If they are not going to complete burn, then the carbon particle present in air that are also called as soot particles. Okay, So in our the air that we used to breathe in contain 21% of oxygen and it is higher. Okay, so here there is a difference in concentration. Concentration of oxygen is blood is less, but in alveolar sac is higher. So oxygen will flow from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, and in blood we have higher concentration of carbon dioxide, but in alveolar sac we have lower concentration of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide will flow from higher to lower concentration in this direction. Okay, so now after the exchange of gases, blood combines with oxygen and carbon dioxide gas is separated out. Okay, so that blood along with oxygen is called as oxygenated blood. OXYGENATED. It is oxygenated blood. It is called as oxygenated blood. And then that carbon dioxide and the air which remain in the lungs, which is not used in absorption process, that we use to remove out from the body, called inhalation process. Okay, so this is the way where like gases exchanges from the higher concentration to lower concentration. This process is called as diffusion. The process is called as diffusion. Okay, so here due to the diffusion process, carbon dioxide get removed and oxygen is get mixed in the blood. Okay, in a alveolar sac. Okay, beta, this is the process how oxygen is going to absorb and carbon dioxide going to release. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes,
now
sir.
take a screenshot, beta. Then we are going to move further. Rishi, Chanchal,
Okay.
your video is off, beta. Hemant, Nihan. Your video is off. You have to keep your video on. Nihan.
Sir, I have internet problems. That's why I'm not switching on my camera.
So today we'll do today's first day, but by next day there should be no excuse, because I have got instruction if student is not going to start their videos, so I have to remove them from the class. Okay, I got such instruction from Manoj sir.
Okay, sir.
So any doubt here?
No, sir.
Sure. Praharshan,
No doubts.
Rashul Sharma ji. Adarsh, Chanchal, Hemant, Ananya,
No doubt.
No, sir.
no doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move the screen aside from here to here. Okay. So here one more thing we had to like we have kept like epiglottis. It is very important. See, epiglottis present over here, and which allow which you can say which regulates the passage of food into the esophagus and air into the trachea. Okay, that epiglottis is very important. So let's discuss about the epiglottis. So we will discuss about each point. External nostril for the intake of the air. Then we have nasal chamber, which is lined with the hair and mucus. See, mucus is also present there along with the hair, and filter the air and remove the dust and dirt particles. Okay, that we already discussed. Then we have pharynx. So in pharynx region, it is the passage behind the nasal chamber and serve as the common passage for the both air as well as food. See, it is a common passage for the food as well as air. So it is very important. It is like sometimes question is raised from here. Which is the part of respiration? Which part of the respiratory tract where food as well as air can pass through? Okay, so that will be the pharynx. Then we have larynx. It is also known as sound box. Okay, as it helps to generate the sound and thus helps in the communicating. So you know, when we are breathing out, that air passes through, when we are going to speak, that air passes through that larynx and sound is being produced by the vibration. So while speaking, you can sense here, you will feel vibration. Just put your hand over here and say something like your name or anything. Just put your hand here and say your name. You will find vibration over here, and due to that vibration, yes, anybody, I am not saying anybody is performing the experiment. Just see, put your hand.
Already done, sir.
Okay, okay. So you are feeling vibration now? Everybody is feeling vibration?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Due to that vibration, sound is being produced. Okay. Then we have epiglottis. It is a flap-like structure that covers the glottis and prevent the entry of food into the windpipe. It is very important because due to that, like food particles, they are not going to enter into the windpipe. So it prevents the entry of food particles into the windpipe. That's why it is equally important. Mic problems, Ratu Sharma. Okay. Then we have trachea. It is the long tube. It is also called as bronchi. It is also called as the main bronchi. Okay. It is the long tube passing through the mid thoracic cavity. Okay. So from here, it passes through here and then it divides into two parts. One is called left bronchi and another one is called as right bronchi. So then we have bronchi. The trachea divided into left and right bronchi. And then this bronchi again redivide into bronchioles, and that bronchioles, each bronchi then further divide into the fine chambers known as bronchioles. Okay, so I want you all to take a screenshot because I'm going to move to the next page. So take a screenshot here.
Sir, your voice is completely lagging.
Why is it
Yes,
like
sir,
this?
now it's lagging, sir.
Okay, okay. Take a screenshot, beta here.
Done.
Done.
Yeah.
Now we have the alveoli. Okay, so the bronchioles then ends up into the balloon-like structure known as alveoli that we have already been discussed. Inside the alveoli, many blood capillaries network is present, and in that blood capillaries, oxygen and carbon dioxide, or we can say the gaseous exchange takes. Okay. Then we have last part of the respiratory tract called lung. So we have the pair of lungs, means one is in left side and another one is in right side, which are sac-like. Sac-like means they have the empty space. Okay, sac-like structure and covered by the doubled layered membrane known as pleura. So we have to remember the name of that double membrane. It's called as pleura. Okay. So that we have already been discussed, the air that we inhale has the following composition. We have 78% of nitrogen, 21% of carbon dioxide, sorry, oxygen. We have 0.03 to 0.04% of carbon dioxide. Then we have trace amount of hydrogen gas and noble gases also. Okay, and then we have extra particles like dust particle, we have sand particle, we have ash particle, we have soot particles, we have bacteria, we have viruses, we have mucus of the, like spores of the fungus. So, okay, then we have other impurities, okay. So all these are again the composition of air, but mainly like 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 0.03 to 0.04% of carbon dioxide. We have, this is the composition of air. Means we are breathing, whatever we are breathing, that all the particles is we are breathing, we used to breathe it. Okay, but only like no, nitrogen gas is not going to absorb in our respiratory tract like in lungs. Why? Who is going to answer?
Sir, will you please repeat?
Why nitrogen is not going to absorb in our lungs? Why nitrogen is not being absorbed in our lungs? Because
Sir, because nitrogen is used in protein digestion, so it will
No,
get diverted from there.
no, because it is so metabolically neutral. Okay, it is metabolically neutral. Like we used to eat sugar-free sugar, is it? So why we used to call sugar-free sugar as sugar-free sugar? Why? Why we used to
Because
call?
it has
Because it is metabolically neutral. We used to have taste, but that sugar is not going to absorb in our digestive gland, like in lungs, or like not in lungs, in small intestine. It is not going to absorb.
yes, sir.
That's why in ileum part of the small intestine will absorb.
Yes, sir. It's digested in small intestine, but
Yes.
the work is done by pancreas, the secreting insulin.
Huh?
Sir, for digestion of
Oh,
sugars,
no. We are not discussing about that. So the sugar-free sugar I am discussing about, not the normal
Alright.
one. Yeah, we are discussing about the sugar-free sugar. Why it is called a sugar-free sugar? Because that sugar-free sugar is not going to absorb in our body, in our small intestine. That's why it is called as sugar-free sugar. You can have the taste, but it is not going to absorb. Okay, like we have different sugar called ellatem, we have aspartate, we have, okay, they are very like sweet than the normal sugar. You know that we used to have beverages like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Sprite, Mountain Dew. Okay, they taste sweet, but they do not contain the normal sugar of like sugar cane. They contain that chemical-based sugar. Okay, beta.
Yes, sir.
alright.
Yes.
Because that much amount of sugar they are not going to buy from the market. So they used to use that
Sir, so
chemical.
if it is not absorbed by body, then why do people say that it's harmful?
No, it is not being harmful because see what happens if it is going to absorb like in large particle form and it is not going to like digest in our part, then it may cause a stone problem in our kidney. It may cause that problem. I think there is no side effect of sugar-free sugar. It is good for like for diabetes patients because it is chemical based. That's why it is harmful.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we have only 1 minute left. So from the above list, the air contains more oxygen than carbon dioxide. Means there is a difference in concentration of air, carbon dioxide and water in air as well as in our blood capillaries. That's why due to the diffusion process, the gases flows from higher concentration to lower concentration, and due to which the diffusion process, exchange of gases takes place. Okay. So with the help of nostril and the nasal cavity, the air cleans the air like fine hair particles we have to use to clean the air. Okay, they are very important within them. And the cavity has a collective group of the blood vessels. They keep the air warm. Okay, that's why we used to say air have to become moist as well as warm in order to proper absorption of oxygen. This air then passes through the pharynx and then larynx and into the trachea and then ultimately into the bronchi and then bronchi to bronchioles and then our alveolar sac. And in alveolar sac, it is going to absorb like carbon dioxide is going to release, then oxygen is going to absorb. So here we have completed our first session. So we had